Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Orangeline. I'm Justin Hauser.
And I'm Kelsey Epperson. We're going to begin our show with an informational piece on the Study Abroad program here at Baker. Matt Quandt has more.
Through its emphasis on study abroad, Baker University offers a unique experience to its students.
I'm Cindy Novello, and I'm the Director of Study Abroad, International and Disability Services, so study abroad is just one of the things that I do. At Baker, we now have opportunities on almost every continent, except for Antarctica, but which is really exciting because we didn't have that a few years ago. So right now I think we're up to 45 different countries where there are approved study abroad programs. And we're quite excited about it. We're getting a lot of students to start studying in non-traditional places. Traditionally, we've had a lot of students, most universities have students in Europe, Western Europe, Australia. That's very popular. But we're starting to have students now going to Asia and South America, Central America. So that's been quite exciting for us.
Baker's flexibility makes these opportunities possible.
In terms of financial aid, almost all of any Baker student's financial aid is going to apply to study abroad. So there are a few very rare exceptions. If a student is on tuition exchange, this tuition exchange program with our CIC sister schools, that's an exception. But most students, pretty much across the board, almost all, if not all, of the financial aid is going to apply. So some of the study abroad programs are actually less expensive than being at Baker, which means it can definitely be affordable.
The big reason why I came to Baker when I was first here looking around as a junior in high school was that they had promised me, or not promised me, but part of their system was to give you scholarship that you receive from your school for a semester and put it towards studying abroad if you choose to do that. So Baker gave me the opportunity, and it was something I really wanted to do since coming to college, and I was able to. Every
student's experience is unique.
The programs vary in type. Some of them are what we call island programs, such as Harlexton, where students are all together with other students on that program, a kind of campus that's not at a regular university campus, but a separate campus for the students. Most of the other programs are what we call hybrid programs, which means that students may have the opportunity of taking regular university classes, and often do if the language of the country is English, or if their language skills are high enough to enable that. Otherwise, they'll be in classes with maybe other U.S. students from all over the U.S., or with international students, which is a really positive thing to meet other international students from all over the world in classes. So that's really exciting.
The school that I went to is called Veritas University. It's Latin for knowledge or truth or something like that. I don't know. I should know that. But anyway, it's Veritas University. It was in the middle of San Jose, the capital. It was a really neat experience. You're just immersed in the culture. You're surrounded by everything that you've been taught. And it really, I had taken 4 years of Spanish in high school, and then I had taken it ever since being in college. But man, I learned more there in a couple of weeks than I ever could have just from classes. So being in the culture is incredible, and then being in that country alone. Costa Rica is incredible. I was in San Jose, but every Friday we'd catch the bus out of San Jose into the surrounding countryside. We'd go to the beach, we'd go to volcanoes. It was just all incredible. It's an amazing place.
Time spent abroad is a lasting experience for those who explore it.
So I actually lived overseas for 17 years altogether, and I'm from Kansas, born and raised in Lawrence, and actually this is the only place I've lived other than Lawrence in the U.S. But I started studying abroad when I was in college. I went for a year abroad and stayed for 2 years, and then after that it led to other experiences in other countries. So you never know what might happen when you study abroad. And I really like to encourage students, because sometimes here at Baker I think students think, oh, my family doesn't travel, we haven't traveled, it's not possible for me, it's just not going to happen, and that's definitely not the case. So it can be really life-changing, and personally I think it's so important for U.S. students and Americans, not just U.S. students, but to spend some time outside of this country so we can have a better idea of what our power is as Americans and what our country stands for. We have no idea the power we are wielding, so it's really impossible to be responsible citizens until we understand that. So that's my own kind of personal passion for study abroad. I just think it's really, really important because it gives students that opportunity to understand our country better, our responsibilities better, and ourselves better. and the world will be a better place for it. So we're located in the lower level of Collins Library. We always encourage students to come and see us, even if they have any kind of interest at all, just to see what it's about. When students come through the door and they say they want to go to Harlexton or they want to go to Australia, whatever, we try to get them to look at the bigger picture to really see what all the opportunities are and then make their decision. And if they come back to their original plan, that's fine. We just try to find the best fit for the student. So we work individually with students, and we encourage them to start as early as possible so that they can fit it into their four-year plan and make it work for them both academically and financially.
This has been Matt Quandt for KNBU-TV.
Thanks, Matt. Justin, you're new here. Have you ever studied abroad?
Nope, but I would like to experience foreign liquors.
Oh, very nice. Up next, we have our weekly Clubs on Campus segment. Alex Skov has more with this week's club, Student Senate.
Students leaving room number 400 in Mabee Hall on Tuesday nights know that Baker University is home to many organizations, but one in particular facilitates all the others. Student Senate includes any clubs or individuals that wish to participate.
Student Senate's important to the campus because we hear everyone out on campus and we try our hardest to get their messages across and help the campus out in different ways.
Student Senate President Chad O'Brien also recognizes the importance of the group's campus presence.
My vision for Senate is that they are the #1 support for student organizations. We don't really have a governing power like some universities, student council or student government would, but we have a budget that funds everything from worthy charity causes to projects that students have been doing for years to someone who wants to start a hobby club and they don't know how to get going. We provide forum, function, and funding, I guess, for them. And then also if a student has an issue with student policy, the Board of Trustees policy, or concerns about the campus and changes they're making, we should be a resource to tell them what's changing and how, when, and then also provide a platform for them. Whether or not I or the rest of Senate agrees with their cause, we should build up support for them, give them a forum, bring in the appropriate faculty administration, and push them in the right direction to get whatever they need to be done. I encourage any students interested or have an organization, a club that's not fully recognized, just to stop by a student senate meeting or talk to their class, find their local senator, and see what's going on. We want to get as many students as possible involved, and we do a pretty good job so far. But I think of about 65 or so active organizations on campus. We have about 40 of them recognized, and then the other ones we're just waiting to provide funding, do any number of things.
Like O'Brien, Joy is a proponent for student involvement, although in fewer words.
I would encourage people to join Student Senate. I think Student Senate, if you don't come or if you don't participate and you don't let your voice be heard, then you really have no reason to complain.
This is Alex Skov, KNBU-TV.
Great job, Alex, and thanks for everything you do, Student Senate. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.